We are here at the Missouri Botanical Garden for our annual Orchid Show. This is a beloved event that people come to every winter because it's a chance to see hundreds of beautiful, blooming tropical plants. And where else can you see that in the winter in St. Louis? So we have people that flock to the garden for this little taste of the tropics. You can see different plants each time you come. Our horticulture staff switches out the orchids as they come into bloom, and they're in almost every color of the rainbow, and it's a beautiful oasis in the winter. One thing that is unique about the Orchid Show here at the Missouri Botanical Garden is that all of the orchids in the show are part of our permanent collection, meaning they are here at the garden year-round. Right now we are in our greenhouse at the Missouri Botanical Garden where they live the rest of the year when they're not in the show, and our horticulturalists spend the year caring for them to make sure they're beautiful and blooming in time for the Orchid Show.
Right now we're in one of our greenhouses where we propagate and take care of and maintain all of our orchid specimens. And most of the time, the public does not have access to this space. However, the great thing is we do bring our orchids out at certain times of the year, such as our Orchid Show, which is occurring right now. Orchids are part of one big family, the Orchidaceae family, and they are one of the largest plant families in the world with somewhere between 20 and 30,000 species. They occur on almost every continent except Antarctica. And they can range in size from the size of your pinky, even sometimes a little smaller, all the way up to the size of your hand and maybe even bigger in terms of flowering. When our orchids are not on display, our horticulture staff take really good care of all of our orchids here. They're constantly having to make sure that our orchids are properly watered. Some of them like drier conditions, so we'll back off on watering for them. Some of them like more moisture, so we may have to water them a little bit more frequently. We're also making sure that they don't have any pests and diseases, removing any spent flowers to ensure health. And one of the other things too is, of course, our orchids grow like any other plant. And so oftentimes we have to do a lot of repotting. So we'll work to strategically figure out which ones are in most dire straits and find a bigger size pot to put them up in. Or we may actually even propagate them, splitting them up or dividing them into smaller sections so that we have more specimens. So the reason why the Missouri Botanical Garden focuses on orchids or has this collection is because a lot of these plants are endangered or threatened in the wild, and unfortunately we may not see them if not properly cared for. So having this massive collection allows us to conserve these plants so that we can have them for future generations and also learn about them so that we can also translate that to any other projects that we work on with orchids.
Orchids are a long part of the Missouri Botanical Garden's history dating back to the 1800s. The Orchid Show itself is more than 100 years old and is a beloved tradition for the St. Louis community. We hope you can make it out to the Orchid Show, which runs through February 25th. It is your only chance each year to see this many orchids from our wonderful orchid collection. It's included with general garden admission, open every day from 9 to 5, and you can get your tickets and learn more about it at mobot.org.